should be going soon. Okay. So the first question here, what are the advantages and disadvantages of single page application?
One of the big advantages is that you don't need to have multiple URLs that you need to navigate. The page itself will determine which components need to be loaded in order to determine what needs to be rendered. I think with that said, the main disadvantage, or the main advantage that also leads to, it's easier to translate those type of pages into a mobile app because you only have one page that you need to work with, as opposed to multiple pages. The main disadvantage I could foresee is that it kind of complicates things, in that you need to, instead of having separate pages to handle separate things, you have the component model, which is sometimes a little bit more difficult for developers to handle or to kind of conceptualize.
All right, the second question here. What is continuous integration and why is it needed?
Continuous integration is usually your build environment. So one of the nice things is that, if you have a large project and you have multiple developers working on a large project with a CI build, basically what it allows you to do is it allows you to rapidly implement those changes into your environment. And then for developers who make mistakes, or there's some mistakes occur, they can rapidly identify those and fix it. So it basically supports moving code more quickly and meeting deadlines more quickly.
Third one here. What's the difference between passing a variable by value and by reference?
When you pass a value when you pass a parameter by value, the changes you make to that parameter are not changed. The reason for that is because you're working with a copy of that value on the stack. So kind of pulling back to my C++ days. When you pass by value, you make a copy of the variable onto the stack, and then whatever method is working or whatever block of code is working with that variable is only going to modify its local copy. If you pass by value or by reference, you're passing the memory address of the original variable. So any changes that you make will go back to the memory address that variable is defined at.
Gotcha. Fourth one here. When would it be more appropriate to use hash map / dictionary versus a list?
A list is a nice thing to have if you just want to store a container of values. A hash or a dictionary is more if you want to have like key value pair. So you want the ability to retrieve a value by a particular key. So for example, let's say you want to retrieve a value by, let's say, state, by the state name, the associated value that's associated by state. It can be more rapidly retrieved through that mechanism as opposed to a list, which basically just allows you to stack values together.
Gotcha. The last question here, in JavaScript, when would it be appropriate to use double equal signs versus triple equal signs?
So the double equal sign basically allows you to check if two values are equal. The triple equal sign will do that check also, but it will also check to see if the types are of the same type. So for example, if you're comparing two integers together, or if you're comparing like two strings together, the triple equal sign will also verify the types are the same.
Gotcha. Perfect. Good. I can go ahead and stop that.